Hi guys, my name is David and welcome back to my channel. I am going to be talking about a book that is the sole reason why I read small author books or books from unknown authors or books from authors that send me emails asking me to read their books and to give them a chance. This book is a good example, or a great example rather, of why I say yes. The book that I'll be reviewing today is called Blood Night and it's by J.S. Johnston. He has a YouTube channel called Wordfully Yours. I will have it up on the screen somewhere, and I will have his channel linked down below in the description as well. At the time I knew, well, I'm pretty sure I knew that he was a writer, and I didn't really think much of it. I'm even sure that I didn't even know what books he actually wrote, or what they were called, or what they were even about. But one day, when I was on YouTube and looking on videos, I came across a short that he uploaded. And if I can find a picture of it, I will put it up here, maybe a screenshot. And also, if I can, I'm not sure if you can copy a link to a short, but if I can, I will have it down below in the description. But in this short, he was talking about how he set up a table in Florida where I suppose he lives, and he was having a table outside of a bookshop. He had this book as well as his other book at the time called The Soda Pop Murders, I think that's what the book is called. And he had two piles of each book, and he was just sitting there and he was discussing about how he was there for hours and he never sold a single book and he never signed a single copy of his book. And I was thinking, okay, yeah, I mean, Blood Night, I mean, it sounds, I mean, look at the cover, it looks awesome to begin with. I mean, it's a night setting, the title is fantastic, although I would like a bit more of a slight black drop shadow and to even make it more stand out, especially up here. But it's got a full moon at the top, it's a night sky, it's got a city all lit up at night. It looks beautiful. When I found out that it was about vampires, I knew I had to get it. So yes, after I watched that short, it was kind of a pity buy, I'll have to be honest with you and the author. I was thinking, well, come on, I mean, why is no one reading this? Or why did no one give him a chance at that event that he went to? And yes, it was kind of a pity buy why I bought this book, but I knew that, come on, I'm a horror fan. How am I not going to love this? But I have to be honest with you guys and with the author. I absolutely freaking love this book. Why the hell is no one talking about this book? And why the hell is no one on YouTube that I can find is actually talking about him as an author? Why the hell not? This is awesome. Sorry about that, guys. So let me just talk about the book in general. And then I've got a kind of a surprise at the end. So the author never reached out to me. He didn't ask me to review his book. I just bought it off my own back and I wanted to read it. But with that out of the way, I am going to treat Blood Night the same as I treat all of my author requests books. I am going to give it a honest review. Yes, I like Wordfully Yours' channel and I like him as a person, but I am going to tell you what I honestly thought about the book. But this is going to be a spoiler-free video, and this is obviously going to be my own thoughts and feelings regarding this book. I don't know why I always have to keep on mentioning that, apart from the few people that might get upset if their opinions are different than mine. Anyway, Blood Night is set on an island called St. Regina Island. Now, I have to be honest, when I saw that, when I read that, my mind instantly went to Regina St. Clair, who is a channel She's got a channel. I can't remember what it's exactly called, but I'll have it on screen and link down below as well. But when I read that, I was thinking okay, the author must have got inspired by her name for the location of this book. If not, that is an extremely coincidental thing, really. I mean, what's the chances if that wasn't intentional? So, St. Regina Island is obviously a small area. If you think about New York City, I know New York isn't a small area, but it's more or less the same type of setting. That is basically the location of the book. And this book is split up into several different viewpoints. We follow several different characters that may or may not come together at the end of the book or near the end of the book. So these different locations are a coffee shop, a bar or a pub, a airplane, and another location which changes because it's from the villain's point of view and perspective. Blood Night. This world is inhabited by vampires and humans coexisting somewhat peacefully with each other in the same world. They know their existence. The humans know about the vampires, and the vampires obviously know about the humans. But in this world, which is very much like our own, the humans and the vampires have come to a kind of a peace treaty thing, where the vampires have said that we won't feed on vampires, and the humans have kind of supplied these blood bags that vampires can buy and purchase openly in shops around this location to kind of satisfy their thirst for human blood or whatever rocks their boat, I guess. And either side is aware about this. It's not a taboo thing in this whole world. It's just their agreement to vampires not killing everybody. And both sides are very agreeable to this. These are terms. Obviously, vampires are sometimes ridiculed and looked down upon by humans. So one night in this world, this massive swarm of all these vampire bats, thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and also thousands of them more, are seen in the sky. They are flying everywhere in this massive swarm, and they are attacking anybody that comes in their way. Well, that's human. The vampires are they ignore the vampires, but they are killing every single human that they come into contact with. At first, we don't know why this is happening, but as the book progresses, we find out why this is happening from our villain's point of view. And as I said at the start, with all the different locations, we have all these humans and vampires. We have all these humans and vampires put together in these locations, kind of like the fog, or the mist rather, in Stephen King. I can't believe if I forgot the title. Where they are stuck in one location because if they go outside, they will get killed or eaten or by these vicious bats. I like it how the humans and vampires interact with each other. Like in the coffee shop, for example, we have these two vampire friends, and they come into contact with these two human police officers, and the kind of interaction that they have, the human police officers don't trust the vampires, but they have to try to coexist with each other and kind of survive the night. And also at the airport, where a plane flies out from the airport and is attacked mid-flight through these by these vampire bats, which forces the plane to crash. I don't really want to say too much apart from that. At the end, some of our characters do come together and you know, confront this. And there is a part of the book where outside forces are coming in. So if you think about Resident Evil or I suppose World War Z, I've never watched that movie, but where this army team comes to this location and tries to find out what's happening. So that is pretty much what the story is. As you can probably tell, this of course is horror. Now, what type of horror it is? In parts, it is extreme horror because it does portray people getting ripped apart and blood and guts and people losing the odd limb or two. So the writer does go into somewhat extreme detail about that. It's never really overly disgusting, but it is somewhat graphic. The author is, in my opinion, an expert at character development and writing characters. I mean, the world in this is okay. It's, well, I mean, for me, it was always a kind of a secondary setting with the characters at the the front and center. I think that if the author focuses more on his world building, then he will improve a lot more. And even when I picked this book up and continued reading it on a different day, when I was doing that and I was reading about these characters, and at the time I didn't know who these characters were, yes, it took me a few minutes for the penny to drop and for me to remember who they were. But during that time frame, I never got bored with the characters. I was always on this journey with this character or characters until my brain kind of clicked into place and remembered who they were. I enjoyed this book a lot, as you can probably tell. It wasn't completely perfect, I've got to say that. This is a vampire book, yes, humans do get turned into vampires. I won't say how this happens, but they do get turned into vampires. It's more of not the traditional vampire that you may be thinking about. It's more of a mutation of a vampire, where they, where for example, maybe they have like longer limbs than the standard vampire does, or they have specific and unique abilities than the standard vampire also has. But I suppose what I didn't like about this book is when these humans were turned, and yes, some of these were our main characters. You can never really tell who's going to be safe and who isn't. But when they were turned into vampires, and when they did their thing, killing and maiming and all that gory stuff, when they eventually turned back into, not, well, I wouldn't say not being a vampire, but when their bloodlust was satisfied, and when they calmed down a bit, when they were interacting with other people, the thirst and the hunger and the bloodlust never really showed its face. Because I was thinking about, if you think about The Lost Boys, for example, that great vampire horror movie, when Michael gets turned into a vampire, you can tell that he is a craving for human blood and to killing someone, and fully embracing that monster that's been that he's turned into. But he's doing his absolute best to hold that back, because he doesn't want to hurt anyone around him, and be a good person. I didn't really think that was portrayed that well in this book. Yes, I did care about the characters, but I think that they could have shown a bit more kind of like a battle within themselves about holding back from this thirst, from drinking human blood. But it wasn't really that much of a big deal for me. I still love the characters in this. There were kind of some lore in this book where where they talked about young and old vampires and what's the difference between them, apart from the ages, obviously. And the vampires in this book have a rule where they never turn children or elderly people into vampires. Now, because the children, if they turn children into vampires, they will forever stay young, but inside they will age, and that won't be fair on them. As well as elderly people, I think, kind of because their bodies are old and frail, the transformation doesn't work well for them. So at least they have some morals. I'm trying to think about if there's anything else I didn't really like in this book. Yes, I suppose it did drag in places, but that's with any book. But what I liked about this book, as I said, is the characters. Even when I couldn't remember who they were, I still enjoyed reading about them. I cared about them. Yes, some of them were kind of, I got them confused with each other. And there were 3 females that had very similar sounding names, very short names that began with the letter L. Like there was Lucy, Lacey, and Lily. I believe that's what their names are. And I was thinking at the time, why couldn't you just give them unique names that don't sound similar, like Sarah, Claire, and Lily, if you had to have an L1 in there? If I were to guess why the author did that is probably because they have people in their real life with their names. That's what authors like to do. But overall, this was a very, very satisfying book that left me really confused about why is no one talking about this book. So I am going to rate this book a 4 stars out of 5. It would have got the full 5 if the author kind of had that element where I said where when the humans got turned into vampires, when they were in that situation where they were confronted by drinking someone's blood, that they had to like fight that urge. If the author put that into the book and made it more prominent, then that would have really elevated it. And also, as I said about the writing more about the setting, but this was well deserving of that 4 stars out of 5. I would highly recommend that you read this. Once again, why the hell is no one talking about this? If you are into horror, if you're new into horror, or if you are a horror fan, read this book. This is for you. If you love horror, please read this. This was an amazing read, an amazing book. It now comes to what I have decided to do, my surprise. I have decided to do a giveaway for this book. I will be giving away maybe 1 or 2 copies of this book to, let's say, maybe 1 or 2 winners. I will be leaving this open until the 25th of August. So you have until that to submit your wants if you want to enter this giveaway. I will be sending the winner or winners. It really depends on how big of a response I get for this video and how many people put their name into it. But 1, 2, maybe more. As I said, it depends. I will be sending the winner or winners their copy of this book, a paperback version, through Amazon in their respective countries. So if your country has Amazon, then you qualify for this giveaway. Or of course you've got to be subscribed to me. So just to echo back, I will be giving away at least 1 copy of this book to someone that wins this giveaway. I will be leaving open until the 25th of August, so you have until then to enter. And if you want to enter, all you have to do is comment down below and make it extremely obvious that you want to enter this giveaway. Maybe just say, oh, I want to enter this giveaway, or maybe put a little vampire emoji in your comments. And on the 26th, I will be drawing the winner or winners, and I will be sending them their copy of this book. All I ask in return is if you win, that you read or try to read this book in October, if you happen to be the winner or winners. And if you have a channel, I would really appreciate it if you would do a video on this, or if you don't have a channel, then just write the author a simple review on Goodreads or Amazon, just to help them out. So that's been my video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed my review of this book that I kind of enjoyed. You know, I'm only joking, I love this book. And hopefully you are excited about this giveaway that I will be doing. I'm so happy to be giving you guys the opportunity to read this book, as it was a fun vampire book. With all that out the way, guys, because I've got to edit this now and it's 27 minutes long, so I better cut it off here. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video.